Approvit.
Bonjour.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Morning Brew Season 1, Episode 28 with Vienna Whyte, a Yeg Music production. We're your hosts. I'm Marissa Kay.
I'm Millie Rouge.
And good. We keep trying it and it keeps not working. If you're just listening to this every single episode, we're trying to cleank our glasses.
Yeah.
For some reason,
Virtually.
It just won't work. It's not working.
It's that gosh dang mirrored reflection kind of thing.
Yeah.
Keeps messing up our flow.
Messing with my flow.
Oh man.
Threw off my groove. I'm so tired of people throwing off my groove.
So yeah, it's been a struggle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this coffee is very delicious that I made this morning. It's a brand new can that I opened.
Ooh.
So the smell, the crack of, I should have recorded it because it was just beautiful. This crack of that silver, silver little seal, and it was crack, and then it was just and I was revived into a new person.
Is it a flavored coffee, or is it just
No, it's just regular coffee. It's not even fancy coffee. It's Maxwell House or something.
Okay.
But it's just it smells so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I had an espresso machine.
Me too. But I mean, I'll settle with what I have.
Yeah.
It's a hazelnut instant coffee. It's actually really good. And whenever Chris makes it in the kitchen, or if I don't really smell it as much when I make it, because I think it's just you get used to the smell.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I walk downstairs or go upstairs and Chris is having the hazelnut coffee, I just instantly
it's that cartoon. It's the cartoon hand that comes through, and it's come here.
Yeah.
Come here,
or the little smell that goes through and trickles through, and the character's nose goes
and it goes up to your nose. Yeah. That's me. If I think my only goal in life at one point is to try to wake up to the smell of coffee and or bacon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a goal.
I remember when I used to live at home, that happened quite frequently, and it was marvelous.
So
it was
great.
A beautiful, beautiful time.
I'm gonna wait till you come over here one day, and then I'm just gonna purposely wake up really early and be bacon and coffee.
Oh my god, just bacon and coffee.
And then if you don't wake up, I'll be get up! I made this specifically for you, and you didn't even wake up.
Oh my god, you know what you just reminded me of, which it just popped into my head. I forget his name, is Julian something, but there's this viral video that went around back in 2010 of this guy who said was talking about hot Kool-Aid, and he's I made this for you, and he's brother, drink my hot Kool-Aid. He's I'm not gonna drink it. He's I made this for you. I don't know why that I gotta send you that video, because at the time I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my entire life. It was such a funny thing.
Yeah.
But when I look back, I was it actually wasn't that funny. I don't know why I thought it was so funny.
There's so many viral videos like that where you watch back a few years later and you're just kind of why did I?
Yeah, there's some classic ones, but then there's some ones that you're just
oh my gosh,
my sense of humor was really, really weird back then. It's oh my god, so random.
My favorites are I don't know if you know these videos, but one's oh man, you made me almost drop my croissant. You see that?
I almost dropped my croissant.
And then my other favorite one is, oh no, Hurricane Katrina, more like Hurricane Tortilla. Have you seen that one? The other day I was looking online, I was online shopping, and there was a pop socket that said more like Hurricane Tortilla, and I was oh my god, I want to get it, but I don't.
We need to have one of these morning brews just be us quoting as many vines as we possibly can.
I could go.
Road work ahead. Yeah, I sure hope it does.
And they were roommates.
Also, just a side note, two Viners that I love to watch still to this day who are on YouTube, Drew Gooden and Danny Gonzalez. They're both freaking hilarious. Go check out their YouTube channel.
I'd have to probably see their face to know who they are, but I probably
showed you one of their videos before, but oh my god, they're so funny. They're so funny. I guess it's just my kind of humor. Danny Gonzalez and I guess Drew also is they're both very sarcastic people. So they're just wow, I can't believe that this thing happened. Even though I did all the things to make this thing happen. What? And I'm that's so me.
I can't stand the Vine. There's a few Viners that transitioned really well into the YouTube scene. But then there's people like Lele Pons or whatever.
Yeah.
And their humor is so bad. Like the videos they make, I'm
It's
just
because,
like,
yeah, it's like she has an idea for a joke, but then she doesn't know how to execute it. She's like,
yeah.
hey, I have this idea. It's like, and a
Well, there's
lot
a
of the
few of
time
them
it's
that do
just
that.
like, a lot of the time those people, it's just like, hey, my thing, my life does this thing. Does yours too? And it's just like, oh yeah. But
It's
usually an
relatable.
observational, well, yeah, usually an observational like comedian will be like, oh yeah, and here's the thing about that thing. But instead they're just like, you ever notice this? And you're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's the point?
And like,
Well, and
yeah,
I find it's worse now that they're on Instagram because they have like more time to film these like little shorts, if you will, but they're
yeah.
just so bad. And I'm just like, you have millions of followers. This is unfair. This is
I
not fair.
I definitely have to send you Drew Gooden's and Danny Gonzalez's videos because everything that you're talking about, they talk about all the time, and it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
So much tea gets spilled, Millie. So much tea
Yeah.
gets spilled. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Well, and I think there's actually a guy from Calgary who did really well on Vine. His name is Cody Ko, I think. Yeah, Cody Ko. But he was from Calgary and whatnot. But he would like make fun of basically those Viners, and sometimes it was pretty harsh, but at the same time you're like, it's so true. Like, just he would point it out, and you're like, yeah, they really aren't that funny. And I don't know why. I think it's like, I don't know why I watch these because it's not funny. But hey, they do what they got to do, I guess, right? Make their money.
You know, if your demographic is children, it's very easy to just make bad content because
Yeah,
it's
slapstick
just,
humor. Yeah, it's just
yeah.
really, yeah. Well, and I find that's kind of like,
I don't want to say bad content, basic content. I'll say basic.
yeah,
Yeah,
very basic,
basic.
very like you would see in like a kids movie. You're right.
Hmm.
But I did notice with TikTok, because I mean, I tried to not download that app for the longest time because I knew that I would either hate it or I would love it. And it turns out I love watching TikTok. So
It's so addicting because you can just
now,
keep
yeah,
scrolling, and then
yep,
afterwards you're like, oh, 4 hours have gone by.
yep. So I try to like not go on that app, but it's really hard. But I find that the TikTok's becoming like the old Vine used to be, and
Oh yeah.
very similar. So there's kind of those new content creators
Oh
that are
yeah.
coming to be because of that and whatnot. It's crazy. The internet is wild.
Shameless plug alert. You guys should go follow Vienna Whyte on
Yeah, on
TikTok.
TikTok. You should.
I'm not saying that you should, but I'm just saying that we do have a TikTok account, so you should totally do it.
Do it up. But anyhow, enough about TikTok. Let's talk about our topic of the day, which is healthy breakfasts. This is a pineapple.
Oh, right. I forgot that's what we were talking about.
We're not talking about TikTok today.
Is that
That's not our topic.
Is that orange juice? Is that orange juice in your pineapple thing?
Yep. Makes it look like a
dig it.
pineapple. So we are talking today about healthy breakfasts.
Okay, well, I feel like anytime we talk about healthy food, I feel like you are the expert on this subject. But you and I think are very different people when it comes to breakfast foods, because I feel when it comes to breakfast, you're either sweet or you're savory. I'm curious to know where you sit in that realm.
I am most definitely sweet. And that's a very good point. You usually are either just sweet or savory. Because like typically when I eat out for like brunch breakfasts, I typically will fall towards that like sweet choice. And then the times I do have a more savory meal, I find I would get very full very easily, and I get almost like it's good, but I usually can't finish the meal I order. So I have typically lots of fruits in the mornings, lots of yogurt, which is sweet. I'll sometimes make smoothies, but that depends on the morning. I like sweet bagels, like blueberry bagels, or like cinnamon toast, not cinnamon toast, raisin bagels.
Cinnamon toast is good though.
Yeah. And or I'll like go for a piece of bread. And sugary cereals too, but I would need to think about what the healthiest breakfast is and what I would recommend. But what's your breakfast routine like?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it's funny because I feel the opposite way. Like if I have something sweet in the morning, like if it's like pancakes or something, I feel like I can't finish it because it's just so much.
Yeah.
I'm like the opposite. If I have one pancake, I'm full.
Full.
Whereas like if I eat something, I'm more of a savory person when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
So I look forward to, like, I can make eggs so many ways. Eggs are my favorite thing to have for breakfast because protein, because delicious, because spices. That's why.
True. Spices are the best.
Yeah. So like I will make omelets. I usually try to stay away from scrambled eggs unless it's Gordon Ramsay's recipe, which I have yet to perfect. I'll have like fried eggs where it like gets a little bit crispy on the outside from the olive oil, and then you like splash the olive oil, like you baste the egg, and it's like nice and crispy on the outside. Then you get a nice soft yolk. I'm
See,
like,
Marissa's the queen of breakfasts, breakfast cooking.
I am the unofficial queen of breakfast. I've made eggs so many ways. I made from scratch eggs Benny like a couple days ago with my brother. So I can make hollandaise from scratch.
That's awesome.
What
is in hollandaise?
So it's mostly butter based, butter and egg yolk based.
Okay.
So you have however many egg yolks, and then you add some, or you whisk those together. If you're doing it the OG way, which is like in a stainless steel bowl over top of a pot, and then the water's boiling, but it's not touching the bottom, because if the eggs get too hot, they're going to scramble. So you whisk that over top, and then you toss in some salt, cayenne pepper, lemon juice, melted butter. You whisk all that together until it doubles in volume and gets nice and smooth and thick. And it's very, very delicious. I tend to add a little bit more cayenne pepper because I like mine a little bit like with a bit of a kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a little bit more lemon juice because I like a little bit of citrus.
So what makes it creamy? Is it just the
butter?
Or the butter? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the butter makes it creamy. And if you like, I guess you could add like milk or cream to it, but that would be like too much for me.
that would be kind of strange.
Yeah, usually like if it starts to break, I add like a couple drops of water here and there. But it's I mean, every time I've made it, I felt very good about it. I love poached eggs. I love making poached eggs just because it's so easy. All you do is boil water with some vinegar and some salt, and you just pop the egg in there, and then it's, let it boil for a couple minutes, and then it's nice and num.
Nice.
See, we're talking about all this. I haven't eaten breakfast yet, so I'm just thinking about all the things I'm gonna make after this. Yeah, maybe I'll like live stream myself making breakfast. We'll go like OG morning brew.
You should.
Like a month ago or 2 months ago, our morning brews on live on Instagram live.
You should. That would actually be such a fun idea. Yeah, I cannot stand the smell of boiled eggs. I mean, eggs in general, I can usually smell and be like, that's fine. But boiled eggs, every time someone boils an egg and eats it beside me, I'm just like.
Sometimes it's the smell, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I love hard boiled eggs. That's just like my jam. I love that stuff. Egg salad, eggs, anything.
Yeah.
But yes, I totally get that. Because like the smell that comes off is just like, ugh.
I don't know why it's so foul.
I honestly, I don't know. I'm sure there's something to it. I will say I have not researched it.
Yeah.
But,
it's hard to say.
Eggs, I usually like to eat eggs on toast, or like eggs with toast, like something crunchy. So like, or like bacon, or, sometimes if I'm feeling real creative, I'll take some veggies and I'll fry those as well. And I'll like fry that in like a omelet together. I'll just like I'm salivating. So like toast. So like toast, and then vegetables like tomatoes, onions, with maybe a little bit of garlic, and then I throw the egg on top, and then a little bit of sometimes huevos rancheros. I get a little bit of salsa on there, topped with some green onions. Mwah.
I don't even like eggs, but that still sounds good.
It's because you haven't had eggs made by me.
True. By me.
I'm a queen of breakfast food. And honestly, sometimes that doesn't always equate to a very healthy breakfast, because it's a lot of salt.
Right.
So sometimes it's not always healthy. Like if you make an omelet and it's just eggs, veggies, and like maybe some protein in there with like a tiny, tiny little bit of salt and pepper, like that's perfectly fine. I've had that before many times. And I find that it's the easiest way to make a healthy breakfast that's still savory for me, because I'm not a fan of like, I don't know what it is about yogurt. Maybe it's just like the texture. I don't know. I have to have something else crunchy in there. I just can't have like I don't know.
Just plain yogurt.
Yeah, like I do like Greek yogurt with like some honey and like some granola over top. with a little bit of cinnamon. But for me, it's like few and far in between with the sweet breakfast. Or some like with some like raspberries or blackberries sprinkled on top. That's also very good.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, when I was in Thailand, I ate so much dragon fruit. So much dragon fruit. It was so good.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, if I'm somewhere where I can get fresh fruit, like when I was in Hawaii, I ate so well because I was like, the fruit you can just like, oh, pop it off. Oh yeah, lovely papaya. Like, it was so cheap, and I was like, I could eat like. I was like, if I lived in a warm climate, I could eat healthy, no problem.
Yeah. Well, it is not easier to eat healthy when you're in a hot climate, but even in the summertime, when you think about it, there's so much vegetables and fruits and just like good produce that comes through. So it's really nice to have that.
Sorry, side note, the green onions in Hawaii were like this big. If you can't see, they went from my hip to the top of my head. They were so big. I came back to Canada and I was like, we're being ripped off. They were so big.
I have a complaint.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Canada, explain.
Explain why you have such small onions. This makes no sense. That's hilarious.
I also really love hash browns, like in the morning, like freshly made hash browns, like with like where you grate the potato. I love.
What's your favorite kind of hash brown? Because there's the cube. When you go to a restaurant, I guess I should say, there's the cube, the shredded, the mini tiny hash browns, and then there's like the McDonald's
the potato wedges,
molded hash brown that I just don't understand. What's your favorite?
You cut out for part of it. I couldn't quite hear it, but I'm assuming you said the big chunky hash browns.
Yeah, like the one kind of at like McDonald's where it's like molded together.
Oh yeah. I mean, so if I'm on the go, which I'm not at the moment, so I've actually been saving a lot of money and eating a lot better than I would have if I was still working. Usually if I stop by McDonald's, I'll get like a, egg McMuffin and a hash brown. Like I love hash browns, but or A&W, I will say their breakfast game has gone way up. Not healthy at all, but it's delicious. Anyway, so usually I prefer like the shaved hash browns. Those are like my favorite ones. So like if I make it at home, I will try to shave it.
So good.
But like the smaller cubed ones, I like that I can fit a bunch in my mouth at a time. I don't like having to go trying to eat like one hash brown. Then it's just a big potato.
Yeah, in your mouth. I love those cubed hash browns. I think those are my favorite. I love shredded hash browns too, but they're kind of more harder to come by. But I love the cubed hash browns, and I love putting like shredded cheese on top and melting it.
See, I've learned to love having salsa at breakfast time.
It's a really good breakfast food.
Or even if I just like make a salsa, like chop up some tomatoes and onions and so like just even having tomatoes and onions on everything, I'm like, I'm happy with that.
Okay.
It's not like a salsa. Yeah, it's good. I like the citrusy of the tomato. So technically, I guess I have fruit for breakfast sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, in terms of like trying to like eat a healthy breakfast, if I go for bread, I usually go for the whole wheat toast, or I'll go for like a thin tortilla. Yeah, I'll go for like a thin tortilla and I'll like toast that. Or usually I'll just try to stay away from bread in general, just to try to cut that out completely, just like in the very beginning of my day. But I try to start my day with protein just because I tend to wake up really, really hungry. And apparently if you wake up super, super hungry, that's a good thing. But if you wake up and you're not super hungry, then that means you're not eating enough protein or something like that.
Oh.
Maybe I'm wrong. I thought I read that somewhere, but so yeah, I try to wake up and have protein and feeling full, so I'm like ready to take on the day. So breakfast is usually like I try to make breakfast my biggest meal, but just because then I feel fuller throughout the day. Yeah, so I feel fuller throughout the day, and then I don't have to snack as much, especially if I'm busy and I'm teaching and stuff. But yeah, and then like, I'll have my coffee. Usually I mean, I could probably be healthier with my coffee too, but I can't help myself. The creamer is just so delicious. I got an Oreo flavored creamer.
I saw that in the grocery store.
I know. And I was like, this is not good for me at all, but I need it. I was like, I want to try it.
Is it good?
I don't know. I haven't opened it yet. We're still on the hazelnut one.
Oh, that one's good too. That one's like one of my favorites.
That's Yeah, but I am a fan of maple syrup and cinnamon in coffee. It's very delicious.
Mm,
Um, yeah,
that sounds
maple
cool.
syrup I found is like a more healthy way of sweetening your coffee, which
Yeah,
is kind of nice. Um,
and
but
cinnamon's
yeah,
pretty cool. Pretty
that's kind of
chill.
where I sit with my coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was to go for like an actual healthy breakfast, and if I was trying my best to be extremely healthy, um, what I would do myself is I would definitely go for the oatmeal. Um, sorry. I would strive for oatmeal because I mean I hate oatmeal so much, but I know that it has like really good benefits. But my problem C is that I love to throw in like lots of brown sugar, so it kind of defeats the purpose of being healthy if you throw in.
But then it's just like you're eating just like mush. What's
I
the point?
know,
You're
and
eating
it's just there's
flavorless
no
mush.
flavor. So I
Yeah.
think if you're like me and you're kind of like I effing hate oatmeal, a good way to kind of go around it is to put in lots of fruit. I know there was a short time when I was making overnight oats. So I would put them
Mm.
in little mason jars, and then I would put like you put Greek yogurt in it, a little bit of milk, and then like raspberries or whatever. You can pick whatever fruit, like you can do mangoes, and it was actually really good. But I found after a couple days, just like with everything with meal prepping, it would be quite like just not. It wouldn't taste the same as it would on the first couple days. So it was really hard to get through the last few mason jars. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I was trying to like legitimately be super, super healthy and have lots of protein in that sense, I would probably go for something like that. But I think another good way I used to make smoothies in the morning. I kind of don't like to do it as much just because smoothies make me really cold. Just because
Yeah,
they're a
same.
cold drink. So then when I'm in the morning, I'm like, and in Edmonton, it's usually winter like 7 months of the year. So, I mean, you don't want to be more cold when you don't have to be before you
Exactly.
leave for work and freeze your butt off driving to work or taking the bus
Yep.
to work. So,
Exactly.
I mean, I love smoothies, but they're really cold. But I mean, they're great though, because whenever I have a smoothie, I usually feel full for like hours. Just like I can feel content. I don't feel the need to be hungry or snacking,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel pretty good. So I think those would be kind of my two I would alternate between if I was to continue on like a super healthy breakfast kind of morning.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like you said, like there's lots of ways you can incorporate it that's savory too.
Yeah, like bananas with peanut butter. That's a
Yeah,
really great breakfast.
it's a
It's
good
not a
snack.
huge breakfast, but or like a snack, I guess. But I
Yeah.
had it for breakfast a couple times, and it's like I'll have it with like a glass of like almond milk, just because
Mm-hmm.
milk hurts my tummy sometimes. So
Yeah,
um, I'll
that's
have
a
it with
nice
like
little
almond milk. Yeah, and
addition. Yeah.
it's yeah, or like you can have it with soy milk or whatever. Like you can,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or almond butter is also really, really good.
Yeah.
I love almond butter. It's so
Yeah.
expensive. If I could afford to buy almond butter all the time, I would. I wish I could. It's so expensive though.
Yeah.
Um, like the raw almond butter. I don't know what it is, but it tastes so good.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, or like if you slice up an apple and then dip it in
Mm-hmm.
almond butter is really delicious.
So good.
So like I'm a fan of pairing fruits with peanut butter. I
Yeah.
love peanut butter.
High protein. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Totally.
I mean also high fat content, but it's
Yeah.
good fat,
Does
I think.
peanut butter also does have quite a bit of sugar, so you have to be just careful about that too. But I mean, if
Yeah, that's the
you're
thing too. Well, unless you're getting like the raw peanut butter, like if you're getting
yeah,
just like the store brand bought like Jif
craft,
peanut
whatever.
butter, like craft
Yeah.
peanut butter, then yeah, there's a lot of sugar. But
Yeah.
if you're trying to be healthier, you go for the raw stuff. But of course, the raw stuff is very expensive. So,
Yeah. So you
or you
have
make
to
your
be
own, but
have
that's
to be
even
kind of
harder.
picky and choosy about that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I think yeah, with coffee too, I try for a long time I was having coffee with cream and sugar and like quite a bit of it of both. But recently I like went to the dentist and they're like, hey, you have all these cavities. And I was like, damn it. So I've fortunately taken out sugar for the most part for my coffee routine. But honestly, once you start to do it and you just have milk or you just have creamer, you really
Mhm.
don't miss it that much. And you're kind of just like, it almost tastes gross with it with sugar now. It just tastes like
Yeah.
too much. So you just
Yeah.
get used to it.
Like for me, I drink coffee or creamer in my coffee, usually just because my coffee isn't very good quality coffee.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
why I add the extra stuff.
Yeah.
It's because I'm like, I need it for the caffeine.
Yeah.
So one thing I found is a great alternative if you want to start cutting down on coffee. Um,
Mm-hmm.
again, it's a little bit more of an expensive alternative unless you can find a cheaper option, is mate tea. So mate tea has like 100% caffeine content, at least I'm pretty sure, has the same amount as a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And the kind of caffeine in tea is really nice because it actually gives you more energy throughout the day. It's like a slow burn, whereas coffee is like very quick.
Yeah.
And it doesn't give you the jitters. Like, it makes you feel more energized. And like when I used to work at Vienna, I had so many kinds of mate tea. So like, I mean, I might make some today because it's like nice and hot outside. So sometimes I'll make like iced mate tea, which is like, I have like this raspberry lemon one that tastes really, really good when you mix it with like a berry one. So it's kind of like sweet and tart at the same time, but like kind of similarly to those like very, very hibiscus teas that you get at Starbucks. So like mate teas are a great alternative. Like they have I remember Tivana had a couple of like coffee flavored ones, which actually tasted very similar. Cool. It wasn't exactly coffee, but it was similar enough that I was like, okay, I can just add a little bit of almond milk and that's good.
Yeah, good enough.
So that's another thing. If I'm going to have no cream or no sugar in my coffee, it just has to be like good quality coffee. So please send me Transcend coffee. That would be great. Thank you. Everyone send me Transcend coffee. I'll get a P.O. box.
We'll get a P.O. box. That's amazing.
Because that's how famous I am right now, right? People will just send me stuff.
Totally, right? Well, everyone, that is actually all the time we have for today. Thank you for tuning in to hear about our favorite healthy breakfast meals. My name is Millie Rouge.
My name is Marissa Kay. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button to be notified when our shows come out. They come out Monday to Friday daily, 6 a.m. on YouTube. And if you're on Spotify, why don't you just give us a little follow there? Just hit the follow button.
Just a little follow.
Bye.
Bye-bye.